Welcome along to World Cup Daily, the show that takes a look at all the World Cup and Arsenal transfer news. And there's only one place where we can start today, and that is Luis Suarez. I mean, he's done it again in yesterday's game, Uruguay versus Italy. He took a bite out of Chiellini, the Italian player, and you know what? I'm just speechless. I just don't understand what goes through Luis Suarez's head. I think there's got to be some sort of mental problem here. I mean, he done it once when he was playing in Holland. He did it in the Premier League and received a ban for it. And now he's gone and done it again on the biggest stage of all, with cameras absolutely everywhere, capturing absolutely every aspect of the game. And he's gone and clearly bitten Chiellini, and you know, his team have won. They've gone through to the next stage, but he's left Uruguay in disgrace. He's brought his club team down in Liverpool, and quite frankly, to me, he's got to be banned right now. He's got to receive a very lengthy ban. I mean, if you've done this out on the street, maybe the first time, maybe you might get away with a suspended sentence. The second time, you'd be going to prison. The third time, you'd be going to prison for a very long time. And what sort of example does it set for kids watching the World Cup? Remember, it's being watched around the world, not just in Brazil, not just in England, in practically every single country, in every corner of the world. And if they let Suarez get away with this, what it says is that when a kid goes out to play football, you know, the next day or on a Sunday, and he bites somebody, he can get away with it as well. I mean, he's got to receive a lengthy ban for this. And as an Arsenal fan, listen, I'm not going to deny I wanted him to come to Arsenal last year when we put through that bid of 40 million plus a pound, which incidentally, I think 40 million of that must have been for the player. The pound must have been for his class, because he's absolutely classless player. I wanted him to come to Arsenal, but now, after seeing that yesterday, after seeing the incidents that he's done, I mean, remember, not forgetting the World Cup last time around when he handballed it and then was celebrating in real bad taste when Ghana went out. I think that I'm really glad now that Arsenal didn't sign him. Even though he could have probably have made the difference and we could have won the title, I'm glad that we don't have a guy like this at our club. He's a disgrace. Quite simply, Luis Suarez is a brilliant player, got Player of the Year, remember, right? But as a person, he's a disgusting character. I mean, the racism incident, don't forget that. He's never really apologised for that incident. He's never really come out and properly apologised and said, listen, I'm sorry. He got found guilty, remember. And I think this guy, a message needs to be sent to him, because obviously the last message was not enough, right? The last ban was not enough. So a message needs to be sent to him to say that, listen, you're actually going to end up not being able to play football at all if you do stuff like this. And I think he needs to get a very, very lengthy ban. I'm talking about months here. Even like, in my opinion, he should be out of the game for about 6 months. And I know Liverpool fans ain't going to like that, but you just can't. This is the third time. What is wrong with this guy? It's absolute madness. And then the second person I think needs to be out of the game, or out of England's game right now, is Roy Hodgson. Now, I don't understand this. I don't get this. I'm listening to a lot of people in the media trying to defend Roy Hodgson, saying that he needs another chance. Another chance to do what? Roy Hodgson has got to go. England World Cup campaign, including the 2 friendlies, we didn't win a game. We drew with Honduras. We drew with Ecuador. We've been beaten by Italy, right? We've been beaten by Uruguay and Costa Rica yesterday, who were already through, who were just at a canter, really. They took off Joel Campbell halfway through the game. They were just, you could see they weren't playing with the same intensity that they played with in the other games. We couldn't even beat them either. We've come back from the World Cup with no victories, and we're talking about giving this guy more time to take us in the Euros. Now, I want you to answer me this, if you're watching this. and I want you to honestly answer this. Can you see Roy Hodgson leading us to European victory, to us getting to the finals and winning the Euros? Can you? Because if the answer is no, then he shouldn't be manager. Then we should be going for someone else. Because we should be going out there to try and win, not just to try and get out of the group. If you aim low, that's what you're going to get, low. We aimed low. Our whole intention really was just to get out of the group. We aimed low and we didn't make it out of the group. Let me just remind you, we finished bottom of the group, bottom, and we've gone home. And then to see Roy Hodgson's quote, to add insult to injury yesterday, his quote, I wrote down here, his quote, he said, "I'm pleased that at least we've given the fans something to cheer about in terms of our performance." What planet is it? He's given the fans, I mean, they're the ones that I feel sorry for, the fans. I mean, I've got friends out there that have flown over there to watch the England games, and I actually feel sorry for them. And some of those friends have said to me that they're actually embarrassed. They're going up to fans out there because there's loads of fans in the fan zones and things like that, and they're going up to fans and they're saying, yeah, we're England fans, and fans are laughing at them and saying, England, oh, come on, what's the matter with you lot? You're useless. They're actually embarrassed. And then Roy Hodgson comes out and says something like this. And if our premise is keeping a manager because we can't think of someone else to replace him, I'm sorry, he's got to go. You look at Prandelli, the manager of Italy, as soon as the game finished yesterday, right, and Italy went out, he resigned. He resigned, and they got to the final of the Euros, and they've been a team on the up. He just stepped down. He just said, that's it, I know I failed. The manager of Ivory Coast yesterday, when they went out, straight away, I'm out. I'm sorry, I've failed. Roy Hodgson, with Greg Dyke in the background, and no matter what, you're going to keep your job. It's madness. I mean, it puts me and it puts other fans off of supporting England, off of watching England. This is why sometimes there's not enough interest from club fans in the national England team because of things like this. Because you've got a manager who basically is never ever going to win us anything. He's not up for it. He's too long in the tooth, and he needs to go, and he needs to go now. That's my opinion. I know not everybody's going to agree with that, but in my opinion, if we're looking to win things, if we're looking to try and win a World Cup, if we're looking to try and win the European Championships, this guy's got to go. It's just as simple as that. He's not up for the job. Please, these pundits out there making excuses for him. He's a nice guy. You know what? I'm a nice guy, but I'm not up for doing the England job. It's as simple as that. The guy needs to go. Let's just take a look. Sorry, I've got to get some of these rants out today. Let's just take a look at the results yesterday. Of course, England 0, Costa Rica 0, so no victory at the World Cup for England. Uruguay 1, Italy 0. That's actually a great result for Uruguay, taking them through. And you wouldn't have thought that at the start of this tournament that it would have been Uruguay and Costa Rica going through. I wonder what money you could have got for that. It just goes to show what I was saying right from the start of the tournament. The South American teams are going to be very strong in this tournament, and it's proving that way. With Colombia as well yesterday, the very, very impressive Colombia beating Japan 4-1. Remember, this is a Colombia without Falcao. Imagine if they had Falcao there. Jackson Martinez, a player who's been linked to Arsenal forever, stepped up to the plate yesterday with 2 goals, 2 great finishes, by the way. And that guy that we spoke about right at the start of the tournament, James Rodriguez, or should we say James Rodriguez, as he prefers to be called, again, absolute class, that guy. I said it right at the start of the tournament, and he's proven it. He's becoming a star of the tournament. And then the real surprise result, watch this game, it was a great game, Greece versus Ivory Coast. Greece winning that one 2-1 with a last-minute penalty. Ivory Coast drove me. I was watching that game yesterday. They drove you mad. They should have. I mean, actually, no, they shouldn't have won the game because, in all fair play to Greece, they played really well. They had some great chances, Greece. They really stepped up to the plate. But after Ivory Coast got back in the game, just keep your discipline. And I'm not sure. I don't think it was a penalty, to be honest. But, however, when you're a defender and you give the referee a decision to make in the last minute, I mean, you're asking for trouble, and they got trouble. And Ivory Coast, sadly, are out. But you think of the players they've got, like, Yaya Toure, etc. I mean, for them to be out is absolutely incredible. Oh, well, let's get into some of the transfer rumours that are going around today. Now, one of the most interesting transfer speculation or transfer news today was that Arsene Wenger yesterday, when being asked by BEIN's Sports World Cup show, they asked him about the Balotelli thing and if Arsenal are going to be signing Balotelli. And Arsene Wenger's comments, now these are his comments, he said that the whole Balotelli thing is pure invention, which suggests that there's no way Arsenal are going to be signing Mario Balotelli. So he's saying, Arsene Wenger, remember, this is from Arsene Wenger's mouth, he's saying that the whole Balotelli thing is pure invention, which is kind of incredible. We've had all these rumours flying around for the past couple of days. Lots of people thinking now, after Italy went out yesterday, that this is a deal that's going to hurry up and be done. Mario Balotelli coming to Arsenal. Well, Arsene Wenger has said it yesterday that it's pure invention, that it's not going to happen. Although we famously remember him saying a similar sort of thing when it came to signing Santi Cazorla, saying he never heard of him, etc. And then that happened. So I don't know. As we always say with Arsene Wenger, you don't know what the man's thinking. But what he's saying at the moment is that he's got no intentions of signing Mario Balotelli. It's pure invention, which then shifts it onto the other target, which is Alexis Sanchez. Now, the rumours have been flying around for the past couple of days that Arsene Wenger secretly met the agent of Alexis Sanchez to discuss a move. Again, what is this? Is this pure speculation? Nobody knows for sure. But now that is the target. It's been talked up. It's been said that Alexis Sanchez is the preferred target for Arsenal, and that is the player that they would like to get. It will be hard to pull off because even though Barcelona may be willing to sell, because apparently they wanted to bring in Suarez. I don't know if they'll be so keen no more after yesterday. But I think Alexis Sanchez would be a great signing for Arsenal, but we're going to have to wait and see what happens on that front. But Arsene Wenger saying yesterday, let me repeat, that it's pure invention that they're going to sign Mario Balotelli. And another player I was watching closely yesterday, Serge Aurier, who, again, I thought had a good game. Again, though, the only thing with Serge Aurier, you can see he's got bags of energy, good tackler, gets forward well. The only thing I noticed with him yesterday, still a little bit raw, still a little bit indisciplined, something that Arsene Wenger would have to get right. You know, he is a young player, he's a very young player, but definitely looks a very strong and quick player that could definitely do something. And we may see, if that deal is going to happen, we may see that deal happen over, say, the next week or so, because, as I said, Ivory Coast are out now. The dealings for the transfer window is going to open so that it can all start. So let's watch this space and see if that Serge Aurier deal is the first deal to get done as far as Arsenal are concerned. But, yeah, that's the transfer news. Let's just tell you about the games today. We've got Ecuador versus France, Honduras versus Switzerland, Bosnia and Herzegovina versus Iran, and Nigeria are playing Argentina. And I'm actually going to be watching that game with the football player known as the Beast, which is Adebayo Akinfenwa. If you see that guy, he's the Beast, mate. He's a big-time Nigerian fan, and we're going to be watching that game together. And I'm looking forward to that later on. And don't forget, the match predictor, you can win yourself the Brazuca. All right, the Adidas Brazuca ball. You can win yourself one of these if you predict the score of that game, Nigeria versus Argentina. And the goal scorer is going to be very tough for Nigeria to get through, although they should have heart by watching Iran the other day, and Argentina are already through. So it's a chance for them to, you know, if they really go for it, you never know, they could do something. Let me just quickly, there's loads and loads of comments coming in. Obviously, this whole Suarez and the Hodgson incidents and the whole Balotelli thing as well has been crazy, blowing up. But just going to do a couple of them because of time. Mr. Cherizio Sausage says, if Prandelli is going to resign, it shows the standards that Italy have. Since when has Roy even proven to be a top manager? Any manager could have given young lads a chance. I 100% agree with you. What? Because he gave some kids a chance. Yeah, he's a great manager. What? He's never won nothing, this guy. He's just not up for the job. And as that person just said, Prandelli, their standards are high in Italy. Their standards are, we want to win something, and you failed. Even though you've done, remember, Prandelli's done well in the past. He got to the final of the Euros. He did well in the Confederations Cup last year. But he's failed. And he hasn't even waited for them to say to him goodbye. He said his goodbyes. He's fallen on his sword. Mam to ORB says, oh, sorry, lost that one. Arsenal FC Gunners MC says, Cellini should get a rabies shot. It looks like every player playing against Suarez is going to have to get something like that because, I tell you. Penja says, Suarez is like having an alcoholic father. Every time it looks like he's changed, you end up with the same disappointment. Oh, gosh. I'll tell you, I just can't understand it. Shazamaram says, Suarez to be banned for 2 years in all forms of football. Real Madrid will probably not go near him now, so buying Benzema will not happen. And that's true, and it might have a knock-on effect to a lot of signings because, as I said, he was a player that was going to be looking to be moving another way. Adam Cleary 14 says, Mourinho said that one day he would consider taking the England job. What's your take on this? I don't think Mourinho, well, not for now, is going to take the England job. A great shout, I think, for the England job would be somebody like a Brendan Rodgers or somebody like Roberto Martinez, who get this. Remember when Martinez went to Everton? Remember how Everton used to play? They were terrible to watch. They were just always just a hard-to-beat team. And he's got them playing great. The same players, in effect, playing some great stuff. And I think that's what England need. They need a young, dynamic manager. We may have to go foreign again. So what? I don't care. As long as we get somebody in there that's going to get a winning mentality into the talent that we've got. Somebody's going to be brave when they're playing, and that will reflect through into the players. Not somebody who's just cautious, and we're just always cautious all the time. Hundreds of more comments coming through. I'm going to try and answer as many of them as I can today, going through the comments. But thanks for watching World Cup Daily today. We're going to be back tomorrow at the same time. As I said later on, looking forward to watching that Nigeria versus Argentina game with Adebayo Akinfenwa, the beast. This is World Cup Daily, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.